one with. I wanna be the one with you. I wanna be the one with. I wanna be the one with you.
What up, everybody? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Micah.
And we'd like to welcome you to This Life Together.
That's TWO.
Together.
What's this whisper?
I thought you was going to say it, and then I just had to say something real quick.
So dramatic. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I know I just randomly threw that out there. But today we have two special guests. We have our beloved family with us, Floyd and Rhiana. Thank y'all for coming through and joining us. And Floyd just actually celebrated a birthday. #
Yes,
Leo Gang.
Yeah, I'm old now.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I'm older than everybody at this table, so I
You
feel
old
some
too?
type of way. I am not old.
Oh, Lord.
Neither here nor there. So we have these guys on the show today, and we're going to be talking about friendship with them. More importantly, the structure of friendship, the foundation of friendship within their relationship. So, like we do with all couples that we have on, how did you guys meet? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Ooh, that's a good question.
You just gonna tell me I'm wrong as soon as I say it.
It's always two sides.
Yeah, but anyway, we met at work.
Okay.
We used to not work directly with each other, but she would call all the time because I work in IT. So she would call because computers are not her strong suit.
Ree was purposely
She was breaking stuff.
I don't know if it was purpose or if it was just like
My
you know,
computer fell out the window.
that she just suck at computers.
My computer fell out the window. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but she would call IT all the time, and I would just offer to help her or whatever.
Scream call.
Did she have a nice voice? Can you see her picture when she called?
So that's where our stories start to differ because I always thought she had a nice voice. She just sounded like very kind, like always like she was just like chill. And then she used to say that I sounded like I was always like slopped down in my seat, like sleep.
Every time I would call, it sounded like he just woke up from a nap. And it took him forever to help me, but I think he was just wanting to be on the phone with me.
Maybe he was trying to match your energy.
No, you just really like mess your stuff up to the point where like it just took a long time to get together. But anyway, that's how we originally met or whatever. And then I always thought like, yeah, she sounded like a genuinely nice person. Like she always like asks about like, oh, how's your day going and stuff like that. Super nice. So I was like, all right, I got to see what she looked like. Well, pause. Our job got like a social media website or whatever.
Ours do too. That's why I asked you what she looked like.
So you could definitely pull people up. So I pulled her up. So I knew what she looked like. Or at least I thought I did.
It was an old picture?
Huh?
It was an old picture?
So, one day we had got like these our job was like random desk drops. So they came and dropped like some puzzles off or whatever. So I was sitting up there. One day I was like trying to do this puzzle. It took me all day to try to figure out this puzzle. So I'm like, she had called and she was like pretty much like, how your day going? What you doing? I'm like, I'm good now because I just figured this puzzle. I've been working on it since lunch or whatever. And she said, oh, I like puzzles or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'm going to bring this down to your desk so you can try it out, whatever.
Finesse.
So then I walked down there to take her the puzzle that day. And I'm looking around like, all right, I know I looked up on the map. Instead, she sits somewhere over here. I'm looking around. I don't see her. I knew some other people from our team, though. So I stopped at one person's desk I knew. And I was like, where we at? And at the same time, she came like walking down the aisle. I don't know from where. Now, when I said that, her picture, at least I thought I knew what she looked like. This day she decided to wear a wig and she had like 6-inch heels. So I looked up.
He said, I looked up.
I looked down.
I looked up and I looked over and she's like, oh, Floyd, like where is she? But she was between the desks. She was like on the other side of the desk, but the aisle was long. So then we had to both like walk down to the edge of the aisle. And then we met and I gave her a hug or whatever and I like put my arms up right on her shoulder. So that's how we met and then from there we just was like friends.
I put my arms up around her shoulders.
We met at work and we became really, really close friends.
Yeah.
Really, really close. Real quick. Like, I'm talking text messages, deep paragraphs, all day.
Yeah, we just talked about this the other day because we just came back from New Orleans. We was at the airport on our way back, and she was like, that was the first time we ever talked on the phone when we was in the airport. And I forgot what trip I was coming back from. I think it was Atlanta when we went to Clarence's wedding.
Yep.
And I was sitting in the airport, and I was like, let me just FaceTime her. And, people don't answer FaceTime, especially unwarranted FaceTime. She picked up. And I think she had like her wig off, or she had a scarf on.
Y'all was like, FaceTime. That's how I knew Caleb was legit. He FaceTimed me. I was like, oh, he talks on the phone.
Yeah,
I had to make sure.
We had talked on the phone before that, right?
Yeah.
I think we had talked, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. We had talked on the phone a few times before that, but I just FaceTimed her, and she answered her unwarranted FaceTime, wig off, scarf on.
Braid out,
a real one.
Tank top in the bed on a Sunday. I think we were doing homework.
Yeah, she was doing homework. Yeah, I was like, oh, she a real one. So that's how we met essentially, but just became close friends, and then from there, I think
I legit thought he was just gonna be like another friend, a best friend, and then it just grew from there.
Sis, that ain't what God did. So
little did I know. Somebody
was all you was looking for him.
Look,
I ain't had no plan. I think
Not
that was.
you, Jesus.
I was about to say that's around the same time that I wasn't looking for nobody either.
I got something to piggyback off of that. Floyd definitely wasn't looking for nobody. So I don't know if you remember this. We had went to a Tigers game before him and Reese started dating. Matter of fact, this was right before you quit your last job. So I know y'all hadn't even met yet. And I feel like it was me, you. Were we with Cherry and Delonte? Or who were we with? I can't even remember.
I don't remember when I hear the story, I'll be able to remember.
Neither here nor there. So it was a group of us. We had left the Tigers game. We went to Basement Burger Bar. And I asked Floyd, Floyd, when are you looking to settle down? His answer was, I kid you not, I don't feel like one woman could just satisfy me because these chicks be on trash.
I remember that day.
A few months later, Floyd I want you to come meet my girl.
that was when I was coming off my sabbatical though. So I took a break from women, and then I was like trying to really figure out what was going on in my relationship life, where I just was getting done wrong after wrong after wrong, and I think I was like, I knew what it was. I was like, one woman can't give me everything that I need. I've been trying to
that was legit his answer.
Everything in this one person, and I'm like, no, you just gotta build. I was like, you gotta just build a woman. You gotta take this person, you like her personality. This person, you like her looks. This person, she's stable. And you just gotta get what you can.
But that's the thing that I was about to say too, because it's I was just talking to I think I was talking to Zell about this, one of our close friends, and it was when I feel like I went through it was a year and a half, 2 year. I was just like, dog, what is happening?
Yeah.
How? How is this possible? It felt like
because 2015-16 was trash.
Man, I feel like Job. I was going through the ringer. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And it was man, I was just popping.
I was just
popping. It's now it's just raining every day for 2 years straight. But then it was it took I feel like everybody need that. Not necessarily need to go through a whole bunch of trash, but it's
definitely that phase of figuring out.
You gotta sit yourself down and really figure out what do I really want? Because being in a relationship with somebody or just quote unquote talking to somebody, that can end up toxic. Because I think a lot of people really just don't be wanting to be by themselves. But then it's that's when I had realized, I was like, bro, you a whole person. You can do all this stuff that you want to do with somebody else by yourself. I was going to the movies every day after work.
Yeah.
I would go hoop by myself. I'd go to the gym.
That's weird.
It was weird.
But by yourself.
I was shooting. Look, I just went to go around. I just went to do something to keep I think that was the moment where, my family members.
You can't hoop by yourself.
I was shooting, man. My family was looking why are you doing this stuff by yourself? And I was well, what am I do?
Took that Drake lyric.
Man, for real.
In the gym?
I was by myself. I was just trying to clear my head. I think I was really just trying to keep myself busy because it was it had got to the point where I was so antsy trying to basically I basically tried to detach myself from my phone, detach myself from social media because it was when...
It was Cranes in the Sky, baby?
No, I wasn't depressed. I just found out that song was about depression 2 days ago. Yeah, I just found out this... I tried to sex it away. She was going through it. And I heard that. I was like, oh, this song was about depression. It was actually a really great song. But, yeah, I had to put myself in a position where I could focus on myself, be by myself, and be okay with being by myself. And then at that time, that's when I started. My whole life just really turned around. Yeah. I got my own place. I had moved out of my mom's crib, got my own place, got a new job. And then it was like things just started kind of picking up from there. But I think I had kind of put myself in a position where I was ready to not necessarily be in a relationship, but I was okay with transition. And I think that was the hardest part for me was I wasn't adjusted to basically like abrupt change.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, dang, that was my life for like 2 years. Now what?
Yeah,
Just gotta start over.
I think that's where kind of the sabbatical I went on, it had taught me was that I didn't know what I wanted in a relationship. And from there, I was like, all right, what I do know what I want is just a friendship. Like, just somebody that's a genuine friend.
Yeah.
You can chill with, you can hang with. Like, it's no other intentions there. And I think that's why this episode is a good topic to talk about. And from that, I think that's what I was looking for originally when I found Ree. I was just like, I just want somebody that's cool, that's genuine, that's like honest, and not with none of the games. Because before, people just playing all these games, so I was turned off to relationships, but a friendship was still on the table.
And that's really why we wanted to have y'all on, because I was trying to think of what we were going to talk about, and I was like, I think we had discussed having you guys on, but we just was like, what we gonna have them talk? We gotta have a topic. We don't want to just invite people over and not have nothing to talk about. What y'all want to talk about? So I was thinking about it, and I feel like it really clicked for me when we got those Nerf guns. So we got some Nerf guns, and I was like, I couldn't wait till we got the musk. We about to be lighting each other up, and then you better hit up the connect. That was the first thing I had thought of, though. I was like, when I think of y'all, I think about the fun, like a fun couple. Y'all enjoy each other, and it's evident. And I think a lot of times it could be. I feel like people could easily fake in front of people just to basically like fake the fun in front of people. And I think with y'all, it's evident that y'all actually do have fun. It's not like y'all just don't like basically putting on the facade.
It's clear that y'all enjoy being around each other.
Yeah.
There's people out here that's just in relationships just to.
I don't think people understand that the friendship component is like an important part of a relationship, especially if you see yourself being with this person like long term. Mm-hmm. Like I couldn't imagine me and Caleb being where we are. And I don't even like hanging out with you or doing the stuff that you do. That's crazy.
That's why people be going out every weekend and looking like you in a whole relationship. Why you out every weekend? You
can't hang with them.
The only time you're together is when you have sleep.
Yeah.
That's not
and y'all quiet.
That's the only time I don't be trying to be with her when we sleep. Too hot for all that.
But that's a good point though. I didn't even think about that. Like,
that's very important.
We just talked about it. I think a couple of weeks ago we was talking about how like to go about your point about people going out every weekend is because they can't be with their significant other. And it's like we had a discussion about like having a significant other or being married or whatever, and then going on vacation without your significant other. It's just like who you like. You can't go by yourself. You can't. Like, it's weird.
I think that all depends because so for me, when we first started dating, I was in a different place. Like we weren't married. We weren't really dating. Yeah, we were still kind of new. So at that point in time, I was gonna travel or do whatever I wanted to do by myself. Like I had booked my trip to New Orleans for my birthday, and Caleb was doing everything in his power.
I was about to go.
Like what do we mean by yourself? Like you mean literally by yourself?
Yes,
you mean with like a friend?
By yourself.
Literally going by myself. I was gonna go to Made in America by myself.
No, that won't happen.
Oh, that's explains the Made in America story.
So
Kayla hit us up like, y'all want to go to Made in America? We like, yeah. He like, all right, because I just bought my ticket. We like,
so wait, even crazier. Caleb was asking me, like, I was telling him, like, oh, I just found out about this festival. It's called Made in America. It's thrown by Jay-Z. All these dope artists gonna be there. Blah 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 blah. Caleb was like, how much the tickets cost? And I told him. He was like, all right, cool, and just send me a cash app. And I was like,
yep, this is happening.
Because he told us, and I thought like we was about to. I thought we was about to like plan a trip, and like he like cool already bought me and Mike a ticket. I'm like, so is this a couple trip with y'all? Like, or
I just knew I had to get there.
That sparked all types of confusion. We had so many friends like, yeah, we ain't coming because y'all going as a couple. And we like,
it was a lot of people down there that we knew too, but we just couldn't get them because it was a sea of people. Basically.
Basically.
I was right next to her on the plane, so I ain't had nothing to lose.
He was trying everything in his power to figure out how he could come to this birthday trip in New Orleans to the point where I had to tell him, like, babe, this is a girl's trip.
And what would have happened? We would have had way more fun.
Okay.
I had a ball. I love you, though. That was one of the
Cool.
best birthdays I've never had.
Yeah, I don't be understanding how people like go out all the time. Like I have more fun with her at the crib than I would like going out to
That's-
Nikki's
Yeah,
or
people-
we be
Mr.
wearing
B's. Like
We
people
talking
go
about Nikki's.
Dog,
I have way more fun with just chilling at the crib with her, watching
And
TV
it's
or doing
safe.
whatever.
people be asking, like, where was y'all at, man? Where y'all be at? Y'all don't be doing nothing. Like, dog, I be at home.
Like,
I go to work and I come home. I
and
be
people think you be lying. I'm like, no,
No,
I
I
literally
was
be at
gonna
home.
say, I feel like people just convinced that we live this life where we gone all the time. No, we in the crib.
the only time you see us is when we gone.
We love the opportunity to just be at home in our own space
Doing stupid
nothing
stuff.
because it just happens so rarely.
Yes.
And we found stuff that we both like to do. Obviously, we both like good TV shows, so we always try to have at least one TV show that we could watch together. We both like to cook, so we always try to figure out if there's a new recipe or something on Pinterest that we could go find and cook together. We both like listening to music, so we'll just be at home listening to music. I might be playing a game. She'll be on her phone on Twitter or whatever, but we listen to music together. So
It's just nice to be in each other's
Yeah,
space.
And that's very important. I think we talked about that in premarital when we were in premarital, and it was like, can y'all be in the same place and not be interacting? Can y'all be in the same room and not talk? And it was like, I didn't think about that, but it was like, but it was like, I didn't think about that because it's like, if you're in a room with somebody and y'all can't, like, y'all always got to be doing something, it's the importance of quiet is just like crazy. Cause it's like sometimes Micah don't be she don't be messing with me, dog. like, she's like, hold on.
But being with somebody is still being yourself.
Yeah.
You should be able to-
Sometimes Micah be like,
What'd you say?
she'll calm me down. Like, I just want to just chill for a minute.
So wait, I was just telling somebody earlier. They were talking about how they go to the bathroom and like they feel like their kid like is always in the bathroom. I'm like, that's real. I was
See,
like,
Tell them what you did yesterday.
I don't know what it is. Every time I'm in the bathroom, Caleb coming in the bathroom. But
It be fun. I don't know what it is.
It's
I get
fun.
something out of it. It's like, oh, she in the bathroom.
Like, I let this man have his shower time. I let him brush his teeth.
I think of my best conversations when she in the shower and I be
like,
downstairs.
You know I can't hear you. This water running.
And I'm like, well, I'm about to come up there and tell you then.
no, I do the same thing
You know
though.
what I mean? I'm in the bathroom minding my business.
Girl.
I'm used to Layla, the dog, pushing the door open. This one, he peek in and just stand there and look at me. And I can't do nothing but laugh. Because,
I gotta make sure you wipe it right.
like, he
Front
was
to
sitting
back.
there, like, with the happiest look on his face, just looking at me on the toilet. And I'm like, this is so weird. But this is like, I love you.
This
is like-
But then on the flip side of that, see, what she ain't caught on to is that when I go to the bathroom, I make sure I close the door and
He
lock it
locks
on every time. So she just come to the door and then can't get in and then try to put her head at the bottom of the door in the crack and then look through. It be middle of the night. I go to the bathroom at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm locking the door behind me. She just and nobody catch me.
But that's a different level of intimacy. I think people don't really understand. It's like being fully like enveloped in the person's life day to day and everything is like,
But being
It's crazy.
blissful in it. Like,
yeah, it's funny. It's like it's those quirks that make up. Like I think, and another reason why I know I wanted to have y'all on too is because I feel like y'all think about relationships in the same way that kind of the same way that we do, where it's like we try to accept and appreciate all of the experiences because it's like that's what's gonna make y'all relationship. Y'all ain't gonna have
Yeah.
nothing else to remember
Yeah.
if y'all not making no experiences together. That's why I was like, man. I'm about to say something, then I'm gonna segue into another story. But it was like it's funny that y'all said that about the bathroom because I swear I always bust in Mike on it. But sometimes the door be wide open. I'm like, it's an invitation. It's like, I'm gonna walk in.
it's really
I don't care if you on the toilet. Like we're about to talk.
Next thing you know, I'm in there. I'm like, is you brushing your teeth? This water just get real hot. It's trying to burn me.
But dog, it was to go way back. This is like the first time I think I had came over Mike's house. I don't know what I had. I don't know what I had
This
ate.
man blew my bathroom.
But I was like, where your bathroom at? And it was right as soon as I came in there, man. I destroyed her bathroom. And I didn't feel no remorse because I was
he
like,
didn't
look.
even tell me.
I was like, look,
I
man.
could have gave you a candle.
Look.
We could have had a conversation.
I didn't know how to say it, but I knew I had to go. And it was one of them situations where it was like, it's better out than in. Because
what makes it even worse, though, it's not one of them things where he blew the bathroom up and then I didn't know and then I went in the bathroom.
That was what I was anticipating. But
that done wafted into the kitchen and I was like,
my God.
Mind you, the kitchen is around like 2 walls. So I was like down the hall and everything. And I'm like, oh, man.
It really blew my bathroom.
So that was a make or break for me. I was
But
like,
that's how you know when it's real love and it's real friendship, because when we first started dating, she was still living with her mom. So I couldn't just like go in the bathroom and blow it out.
Man.
Whole house gonna be looking at you like.
So whenever I be over there, I'd be uncomfortable because I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't like fart or nothing. I'd just be up there like body by the
That's
explode.
really
Man, that's what I didn't want. I was like, look.
And you trying to hold your fart?
I'm like, dog, I'm in Clinton Township. I can't hold my fart and my everything else till I get home, man. That's a 40-minute drive.
Yeah. And then the first time, I think I started farting around her and she was cool and like she laughed at it and was like, no, it's cool.
Until she smelled them.
I was like, we good. So now we found ways to like turn it into a game. Like, like if we out at the store, I fart and I just come and grab her by the arm and like, we gotta go. Like we got and she was looking like, what's going on? Like, we gotta go, man. Get out of here.
It might be Floyd Rhiana.
Dog.
She's some here just
that's a game too.
That's funny because we got a game that we play in Target. Like we can't go nowhere, and people I feel like people always listening to our conversations, and it's not like we be talking loud, but it's like I feel like it always happens when we get somebody like a birthday card or something, because it might be somebody else looking for a birthday card, and it's not like they can just grab it and go. They got to read it. So me and Micah might be going back and forth about something, and they just like
rationale to pick these birthday cards is crazy.
They just be looking at us like, what's wrong with y'all? And it's like we turned that into a game that we still haven't really played yet. I think yes,
we play that game all the time.
Man,
we play that game all the time. We be out somewhere walking to Target, and I just say some crazy stuff out loud.
Normally, you probably be like, she's stealing, and then just walk away.
I'm like, get your hand on my butt.
But then again, Nora, her hand might really be on your
butt. Floyd, we was in Target. I cannot remember what it was. I feel like Micah had said something, and I like snorted. Like she was like, I ain't going to jail. And I was just like, what? Then she'll walk away, and I'm like, I'm walking looking stupid, trying to look around. You know, be nobody looking at me. But it's like when you walk down them aisles, they got the camera in it. I feel like they be looking at me in the front like this idiot.
Yeah, but she be, and then she'll do stuff when we be out. Like she'll be making obscene like sounds and noises like I'm beating her. And that's why I had to tell her like, look, you can't be doing that because people think that this is real.
Man, you'll be locked up real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
You can't be running through Target aisle screaming.
Oh my gosh.
All that goes to say, you should have fun in your relationship.
Yeah.
You gotta have fun with your mate. You gotta be able to play with your mate, because I think that it's a difference between, you know, enjoying each other's company, but everybody a little childish. Like,
man,
you gotta be able to be your most childish self with your significant other without them getting mad.
We was talking about, I think we talked about that either early in our dating phase or like right after we had got together. I feel like I told Mike off the rip, I was like, I cannot wait to embarrass my kids. I'm going to be that person acting. They're like, dog, here come my daddy. Like, they're gonna be apologizing. Like, I'm just apologize now. Like, he be tripping. And it's like, I'm gonna be the one throwing stuff at my kids, playing pranks on my kids. And it was like, that's the only thing I feel like that's the only thing that's gonna keep me young. So I'm like, I ain't gonna have no cracks in my face. It's like, I don't gonna care. They're like, well, how you look so good? What's your skin regimen? You ever slapped your kid with a wet sock? That's how you stay. That's how you stay young. I'm gonna play the pranks that I played on my siblings, on my kids.
That made me think of the time I asked Caleb when we were first like shopping for a bed. I'm like, baby, we should go ahead and get this California King bed. He like, for what? I'm like, because when our kids get scared at night, they gonna need to come in our room. He talking about, they better go pray.
Ain't coming in my bed.
Like, well, gee.
Sorry. The only time you're gonna be in my bed is when you small enough to get in the crib.
Yes.
No, they can't be in the bed even then.
I know. I'm talking about.
We sleep too crazy.
They gonna be right next to me. By then we gonna have a bigger bed.
So that you saying that makes me think of like in terms of like being in a friendship with your partner. What was a time that like your plan went too far? For ours, what come to my mind when you said that with the children is me. I would always like make jokes about like when we had shit. We talking about like, when we had kids. And I'm like, that I ain't gotta worry about that because I ain't gonna be there.
Like he would make the worst jokes.
She probably ain't know what to expect. Like, what?
Yeah, he would just make the worst. I'm not even saying it because it's probably controversial.
Oh.
He would make the worst jokes possible. Like, why would you joke like that? Like, this is serious.
Yeah, so one day I was joking about it and she just like stopped laughing and she just looked at me like, don't play with me like that. I'm like, what you talking about? And she's like, don't play with me. I'm like, you don't really think I would be like this towards kids, right? Whatever I just said, like that's unfathomable about like you don't think I would really like
talk about some hey, don't be there.
Yeah, it was serious.
I feel like the only thing I feel like I done did it a couple times too. That's the thing that make it even worse. I feel like sometimes Micah might be minding her own business.
Most of the time I am.
Somewhere completely in a different side of the house. And I just gets to some urge, just like, I think I'm about to hit her with something. And then I throw something like around the corner and I have a target, but she might move. The next thing you know, it's hitting her in the eye. Like I feel like I done stepped on her foot. It's like all types. I feel like if anything, I done unknowingly like inflicted pain on Micah in one way, shape, or another.
And I'm blinking. Y'all know what?
Get out of here. And Micah is very small, and I don't really realize how small she is until I do something that make me realize how small she is. It's like, you can't be laying on my back like that.
I can't breathe.
Like, I'm dying in this mug.
Breathe.
Like, oh, see, now I know.
Oh, that's it. We play the dead man game all the time.
Man.
I don't consider that a game.
That dead weight game. That hold on my dead weight.
Okay, like, he would chase me around the apartment, like, for at least an hour, just tickling me or torturing me, hurting me.
Remember the one day Floyd cheese neck Rhea in the kitchen?
Man, I peed on myself a little bit when he did that because I was like, she about to shoot this dude. Because it sounded like
she turned around like
it sounded like somebody struck a match in front of a speaker.
Oh.
It was like, bah!
He is so heavy-handed. Open
he was like, oh my bad, I didn't know I hit you there.
It like, I saw red in her eyes. She was about to burn this house to the ground.
He was having such a good night.
Like,
we got
time to go. Time to go.
He be knowing.
Oh man.
So since you guys have been dating, what do you feel like? And I'm gonna ask y'all can answer in whichever order y'all want to, but well, ladies first actually. What is something friendship wise that you were able to find and read that you hadn't experienced before in another relationship? Well, you first read.
Good communication. Oh, friendship wise?
That's part of friendship though.
Good communication. Really, really good communication. Open communication. Like, we'll sit there and think about what we want to say and be real honest. Try not to hold back.
So communication and vulnerability.
For me, I'd probably say like a true best friend. Like I've been in relationships before where like you like the person, you like being around the person, but like every now and then you like, all right, I gotta go like hang with my boys and like, you know, get some alone time or me time, away from you time essentially. But Reed changed that. She's really the first person that like, it's not a day where I don't like have to not be around her and not have to see her or whatever. And I told her this when we was in New Orleans this past weekend. Like she really replaced best friend, like a true best friend. I told her like when Doc passed or whatever, like that best friend person that I was with all the time, that boy had left and she stepped in and filled that and exceeded that role. So just somebody that's like true best friend is something that I didn't have before, I don't think, and something that with her I found. So
yeah, I like what you said earlier too, where it was like sometimes when you by yourself, you can't build a person, or you can only want what you want in a person. But I think for me, we kind of had like similar situations where we either dated or talked to multiple people, or in the past we had talked to people and was like, I ain't like this about that person, but I did like that. And then next thing you know, you didn't basically put all of the things that you did like, and you found it in the person.
Trying to build yourself a Stepford wife.
I found you at Base Systems out there on Van Dyke, 13 mile. But I think that was one of the things that I liked the most, because it was like weird, because it was like, I don't know you, but I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
My whole life.
I didn't feel like I had to like learn her. Like
You say that all the time when we first started dating. Like,
it was so
I
weird.
feel like we've been knowing each other our whole life.
It was so weird. And it was like, I think I've had relationships where I've been good friends with the person, but it was like, she's a cool person, I'm a cool person. We put those two things together, we cool.
Yeah.
But then it was like, it's different when, like, I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm probably never going to get used to it. Mike could be doing stuff or saying stuff, and it just be like, I was about to tell you that. And it's like, what you mean? Like, how did you just come up with this? Or
we have a lot of mirrored moments.
Yeah, it'd be scary. I'd be thinking
a lot of moments where we're doing the same thing at the same time, or
saying something completely random.
For me, it's not even the whole like finishing the sentence thing, because I feel like when you get to know a person, you can kind of gauge what they're about to say, but it's more so the mannerisms, like the gestures and stuff that we do be the same, and it just be like, we'll just take a second and just stare at each other like.
I've been breaking. I told Mike, I feel like Mike can do this now. I feel like she didn't caught on to when I do it, because it be stuff happen and I'm just looking like, I know somebody just saw this, dog. Like, I feel like I be seeing stuff and it's like, Lord, why are you doing this to me? Because if I explain this to somebody, they gonna think I'm insane. And Mike can be seeing it and like she'll see or hear something and she'll just break like third wall. And I feel like I do that all the time. Like, I see something, I just look off like, just looking for a camera, like, did somebody see this? When I saw her do it one day, I was like, yes. But I think that's the thing that I like the most, is like to go back to what I was saying about previous relationships, where I would have, like, we'll be friends, but it was like, I feel like to a certain extent, they'll try to conform to like the type of person that I am, and then try to be similar to me. Where it was like where Micah, it's like, I wouldn't care if she was different or not, but I think it definitely helps. Whereas like, I ain't got to second guess something that I do or say, because 9 times out of 10 she'll do or say the same thing. So I think that definitely helped in the long run.
And I think the similarities, not just like the things that we like or dislike, but the way that we treat each other. Like, that common ground helps us have a stronger foundation as friends, because there's certain stuff that I know that you would never do to me because you consider me a friend, and vice versa. And I think that makes it a lot easier for me to tell you my secrets, or to tell you like how I'm feeling, or just to be upfront and honest with you, because it doesn't feel like if I tell you this, you're going to run away. Like, I could tell you anything and we'll have a conversation about it, whether we have like disagreeing views or not. I know it's nothing that we can't talk about.
And I think that's really important when you think about how, like you were saying earlier, Floyd, it's like people be in these relationships and they really just be in a relationship like, oh, I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend. And then it's like, that don't really hold it means nothing. Like, it literally means nothing. And I think for people to be in a relationship, and I think a relationship is nothing but an extension of a friendship, in my opinion. And if you look at it any other way, it's going to end bad. And I feel like it took me a real long time to realize that, because it was like a lot of the relationships that I had been in the past, thinking about it now, it's like half of the time I didn't even know them.
Yeah. And
then I was trying to learn them after I had already got with them, and it was basically too late. So it was like, I don't like the person you are, and that's usually when it ended. Like, now I know you, and I don't like you.
And it's interesting you say that, because in my past relationships too, I would like keep my friends and my relationships separate. Like, I would hang out with whoever I was in a relationship with, and then I would hang out with my friends separate, and that person would be there. Whereas now with Ree, it's like, whenever we go on a date, like, we inviting y'all, or we invite other couples and our friends. We're like, and we're like, it got to the point where I was like, when the last time we was just together? And that's just because I think we friends first. So it's just like, oh, like, let's have all our friends, and the more people, the merrier. And that's like something that's very different than the past. And like what I used to do.
I was telling one of one of my boys, I was like, it took me a real long time to realize it. Now I'm thinking about it in retrospect. It was like, dog, what was I doing? And it's like, really, you gotta, like, your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, that should be your road dog.
Yeah.
Like, that should be your go-to. And then if that don't work, but if like, oh, I'm about to do X, Y, and Z, all right, cool. Then you deviate from that plan. But like you were saying, Floyd, it's like, I heard a question on social media was like, should your spouse or your significant other be your best friend? I think it should be. Your significant other should be. Huh?
You stole my question.
Oh, told you. But I think it's funny when you think about it that way, because it's like, if they wasn't, what would that look like?
Right.
Like, would you just be sharing a space?
Mm-hmm.
You just...
So it's so funny to me because I've heard a lot of people have this argument, or seen a lot of people have the argument like, oh, your significant other can't be your best friend because you need somebody to talk to from the opposite sex perspective. Yeah, talk to your significant other. That's why they're there. Because you could talk to somebody outside of your relationship, whether they be of the same sex or the opposite sex, but if you're not talking to the person that you're in a relationship with, how are you fixing your relationship? How are y'all reaching a resolution? And I'm sure that it's certain things that you would probably say to your friend that you would say about your significant other that you might not say directly to your significant other. But I think that brings on a bigger conversation.
Right.
Why are you saying these things?
Yeah, that brings on
Like-
a whole other slew of issues.
Yeah, I think that's important too. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, me and my wife was going through a real tough time, or me and
You
my
gotta keep
husband
your
was
business,
going through
your
a real
business,
tough
dog.
time, and I just had to call my best friend and ask for advice. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. I think it's nothing wrong with having platonic friendships with the opposite sex. But I think that there has to be boundaries
Limitations.
and understandings, and it changes the way that you move. Like you can't move the same way you did when you were single. At least you shouldn't be. Like you do when you're in a relationship with your friends, and that's not even to say that your friends have bad intentions, like whatever. Like no, it's just to me, it's a respect thing. Like I would never try to hang out with one of my guy friends if Caleb had to feel like he wasn't invited. That's not what's about to happen. I'm not hanging out with anybody if I feel like Caleb can't come. Because to Caleb's point, Caleb is my A1 day one. So if I can't spend time with him, I'm like, oh, well, girl, I ain't coming.
Yeah. It's funny when not funny, but it's weird when you see situations like that where it's like, where's such and such at? And they're like, oh, he at home. She at home.
But I've dated that person. Like, yeah, you can't come. Because your attitude,
That's what they said to you?
No, that's what I told them.
Oh, I'm about to say, woo! I don't know how he's still alive if he is.
But then things start getting crazy because it's like you got to keep stuff separate and
It's
it
too
makes
much
it
work.
really hard, and it makes you
Not
feel
healthy.
like you kind of torn between having your friends and having your significant other, and it's like, who do you be loyal
right,
to?
what's more important?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, then I don't want them to feel like I don't want to hang out with them because I'm in a relationship. Then they're going to start acting funny.
She acting funny
But
because
at
she
the
got a
same
man,
time-
y'all.
Right, but at the same time, I don't want my significant other to feel slighted, like my friends don't like them.
Yeah.
So it could create a lot of issues and a lot of tension.
I mean, to answer your question, I'm not gonna ever say like your significant other gotta be your best friend or should be your best friend, because what works for me may not work for somebody else, and vice versa. But what works for me is my significant other gotta be my best friend, because otherwise, like y'all was saying, and like I said previously,
It's gonna get weird,
it
man.
just get weird. Like your significant other not hanging out. Like you gotta try to find time to balance hanging
It's
out with your
draining.
significant other and your friends, which are separate. You run into your friends to tell them something about your relationship that's personal,
Yeah.
and at that point, it just creates a lot more issues. And on the flip side, where your significant other is your best friend, your relationship is a million times better because they're right there every step of the way through life with you.
Yeah.
Versus, you leaving like, I feel like it's like a double agent, secret agent type life. Like, like at one point you like this way when you at home with them, and then when you
Double
out, you're a
personality.
completely
They're
different
gonna tell the
person.
girl in now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's up, player? How you doing?
Like I even know people and have friends that like had like went by different names when they was out like with us as like a guy group. Like they like would like put on a different persona, and I'm like, that's like weird. Like
That's gotta be so exhausting though. To
Yeah,
feel like
like-
you can't.
Or you
be
might just be
yourself.
insane.
That's really wild.
It's you have put it in a way where I had to kind of think of it, because it's like I'm sure Ree got them too, but I know Micah has girl best friends. She got a whole team full of best friends that's just like they the Fab Five.
There's 4 of us.
It sounded better, but I think it is that question really posed if your significant other has a best friend other than you that's of the opposite sex. You get what I mean?
I mean, I got 3 female best friends.
Yeah, when I first met.
Yeah, that's what I meant to ask you too, because I know you and they're actual friends, but I feel like some people use that best friend.
No.
They use it in a weird way.
Let's get into it, because when I first met him, he
Put your hands down.
was like, he told me about the guys, he told me about their girls, then he told me about his girl best friends, and at first I was like, girl best friends, But then he started to tell me more about them, how they grew up together and went to school together, and college, you grew up college, adult age.
Like,
So
You're so ignorant. I can't stand for you.
You talking to somebody else?
I was more open to it because they had an innocent history, and it wasn't just like, oh, he met them last week downtown, and now y'all best friends.
She said,
And I think the difference is like it's how you
Stuff
bring
like that.
your significant other into the relationship, right?
That's
If-
really important.
It'd be one thing if I
Secret.
was like, if I never said anything about these 3 girls, like I was like keeping them secret, and then I was like going to hang out with them, not when she was there. Like from day one, I was like, oh, I got 3 female best friends. These are their names. These are the things I like about them. They'll love you. You'll love them. I've been telling them about you. I've been telling you about them. And the first chance we got to have them meet, like that's what it was, and like everybody hit it off. So now when they come over, Camille came over, and Chelsea came over the other day, and they was like, "Where we at?" That's the thing though. They don't hit me up no more and be like, "Oh, I just want to see you. Like I want to hang out with you." Like, where we at? And I was like,
and they done this stupid.
And then when they came over,
happened to me.
they immediately came in. She was in the bathroom doing her hair. They immediately came in and went to the bathroom. And Chelsea like, oh, like I want to see your twist. I want to help you do one of your twists.
It's only gonna get worse.
So
people don't check for me no more.
So I think that's the difference. I think you can have best friends that are of the opposite sex. It's
100%.
just how you integrate those relationships and handle those relationships. And as long as it's honest, it's genuine, I think that only adds to. It's just another friend at that point, regardless of gender. It could be a male. It's just another friend.
Like to go what you were saying. I feel like some people for sure be using that best friend card. It's like, nah, bro, y'all slept together.
That's the
off
other
and
thing.
on.
Like, don't be trying to front like this somebody that's your best friend because y'all grew up together, but y'all done slept together 3 times and your spouse don't
you can't
know.
be parading people
like,
around.
Whether it was before y'all was together or whatever, like that's not cool.
And that's why I say it's boundaries, because there are people that were in my life like that who thought they were friends to me, but I had to let them go, like cut all communication off before me and you got serious, because I knew that it was something I wanted to pursue. So all of that was dead. Ignored messages.
Feeling extra hurt.
I think Micah.
You can't be in my life right now forever anymore because
I caught you talking to people
you violated
a month ago.
No, you didn't.
Deny.
I feel like Micah told me that real early on, and I think that it really shifted my perspective, because it was like for the longest it was like I'm not doing nothing wrong. I had all these friends before we got together, and then it was like she said, it wasn't you need to dump all your friends and it's just me, nobody else. It was more of it was more of a respect thing, and I had to learn that, because it's like I know a lot of people, period. So sometimes we'd be out and people would be like, they'll just come up to me because they know me, but they don't know her. But it's like, nah, bro. But the thing that make it funny is like, I could tell from right away that they being fake, because it's like, bro, it's not like I'm hiding her. You definitely know that she exists. I'd have probably talked to you about her, but then you just come up to me and you trying to act funny. It's like, nah. So it was like when Micah had basically, it's some people that I don't talk to no more. But it's just like, Micah told me that from the jump. She was like, yeah, X, Y, and Z, I don't talk to them no more. And I was like, I don't even know who that is, but all right.
That's why you don't.
So I was like,
conversation with my sister, I was like, they cut off.
Yeah.
That's the devil knocking on your door. Like, a no-go. Those aren't real friendships.
I was telling Caleb too, like, Caleb does have a lot of friends in general, whether it be male or female. And the crazy thing is, like, he got some dope friends. Like, y'all are my friends because y'all are his friends. So for me, even going into it was never a thing where it was like, oh, you got female friends. Like, I didn't really feel like that. It depends on how, like, you handle the relationship with those friends and how those friends really react to you. I'm an observant person. So certain stuff I peep from certain people, but it just be like whatever. Like, I know Caleb and I know Caleb's intentions, so it really don't bother me too much. But there have been times where I had to tell him, like, sis on some trash, and I was about to punch her. That only happened that only happened like twice.
I'm still fine. I just found out about one of them like a couple weeks ago. This had happened like 2 years ago. And I'm like, when did this happen? I ain't seen her since when? And then I had to think back like, dog, that really almost just happened. And I had no idea. Like, I was like, to know that you standing right next to somebody about to get their face blasted in.
So wait, the funniest thing is we just saw this particular person, like, recently. This is the second time I had ever seen this person, but I know she knew what was up because when she seen him, she didn't even want to speak to him. But the previous time, like, she was all in his face. Yes, sis, I see you. I'm nice. I swear I'm nice, y'all. I'm so nice. But yeah.
And I'm the crazy one.
You is crazy.
I'm just
Caleb
truthful.
be trying to play this role.
I'm just truthful. I'm
Caleb
truthful.
be threatening strangers in public at movie theaters.
I heard about y'all.
It is what it is. Like, you knew what happened when I put my pants on just like the next man.
He was like,
I put my pants on just like the next man. It's like, I ain't no different than nobody else.
Caleb is crazy. Caleb the crazy one. I'm the nice one, because you're the one who be threatening people out of the blue. Like, really just loudly threatening people. I just be sitting there observing. Caleb be threatening people, talking about he gonna drop kick them, keep their ass on the prize.
You gotta keep them ready. You gotta let people know.
I just be like, I was not.
Because you can't say. At least I'm letting you know. It's like a welcome sign. It's like, oh, they said hi to me before I walked through the door. It's like, bro, I'm going to kill you if you keep doing this. So then when I kill him, his family can't say, well, he told him. He told him he was gonna kill him. Keep your eyes off my woman.
Don't you about to say keep your eyes on the prize?
That is what I told the one guy. I told the one guy because I was trying my best not to cuss.
I was trying my best not to cuss. That man in his soul was like, yeah, keep your ass on the prize and enjoy this movie with your son. And I was like, who are you talking to?
Mind you, she's completely oblivious. She's completely oblivious. I'm like, bro,
we're going to see Aladdin.
We going to see Aladdin, bro. We got it's me, Micah, our niece, and my mother-in-law. We all going to the movies. And this guy just looking at Micah, and he's like, all right, I'm going to give you one glance. Because I even learned in premarital, if you see something that's even remotely attractive, you bounce your eyes, you keep moving. Don't just stare. Bounce some eyes, bro. Don't stare at something for too long. So even if I see somebody, oh, yeah, I look the other way. So this dude was, mind you, he's in front of all of us. He turns completely around. Micah's talking to our niece, who's short. So she looking down, but he looking dead at her. I'm like, don't lose your mind. Then the first time I was like, I'm gonna let it go. Because I don't know, maybe they was moving too close. I don't know. Then he turned around again. And he was staring at her, like looking her up and down. Turned back around. Then he turned around again. Now this time I'm like, okay, I'm about to have to say something. Because in my mind, it was like, all right, yeah, now I know he tripping. He turned around for the fourth time. I looked at him dead in his face, like, excuse me.
He didn't even say excuse me. Because that's why I was confused.
Oh, I thought I did.
He just had a
in my mind, I did.
When I said excuse me.
I was over it, dog. I thought I was about to kill this man out here. And we don't even know what movie theater was at, but we wasn't in Detroit, so I probably would have went to jail for real.
I think he's at the one in Westland.
Yeah, so I'm just like, look, bro, you better enjoy this movie with your son. He had on slacks. He had clearly just came from church. I don't want to have to kill you. But you here wilding. And it's like, for Micah to basically put that on me, she about to do the same thing. She just didn't say nothing to the girl. She said it with her eyes, which is even worse. Because she didn't have to move her mouth. The girl looked at her and was like, I don't want no trouble.
I'm nice, though.
That's it.
That's probably really what be scaring people. Because usually I'm talking to people.
No,
I'm usually friendly and talkative.
You got small hands, but they hard. So I feel like when you be talking with your hands, people be hearing it.
That's the title of this episode. You got small hands, but they hard.
What?
like, look, people be hearing you talk with your hands. You're like, ooh, that's kind of hard. I'm about to leave her alone. Y'all better watch how y'all say hi to my wife. Y'all better watch how y'all say hi to me. That's all I gotta say about that. I ain't crazy. I'm just look. You just say hi, Caleb. Hi. Make sure you show and acknowledge that my wife is next to me or in the room. Speak to her. Don't just come speak to me. Cause yeah, that's how you get shot.
And I mean that kind of helps with the situation too. Cause you could tell who like are genuinely friends. Cause if they genuinely friends and they want the person that you think so highly of to be their friend too, and they be excited. And when they don't, then you know it's something else.
Man.
I thought about what Caleb said in terms of like when you be going out and guys like be getting a little bit too loose.
It's like, come on, son.
I ain't never had nothing to that effect where dude was just like,
it's been worse.
We did, but we screamed it. We definitely said.
Oh man, I think I told you about it.
Oh no, yeah.
I told you about it.
Caleb told me about that.
I had to shut that down.
Yeah, Caleb told me about that the next day.
Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, you dirty. You like real life dirty.
I told her about that too.
I think I kind of know.
But I mean, I always like I know she beautiful, so if we going somewhere and people looking like I'm not about to like, because then for the rest of my life I'm gonna have to be getting out of pocket every time.
Every night I got to fight to prove my love.
Man,
yeah.
Look, don't touch.
Luckily, I ain't never had a situation that I knew about that was where a dude was like that out of pocket to where I had to react like Caleb and kill somebody in front of their little child.
We was just trying to see Aladdin.
Look,
hey,
he wasn't trying to see Aladdin.
You got to make these dudes risk it all.
He was with his. I swear he was with his son. I'm like, dog, you tripping?
You got to step your game up. Mike out here got dudes ready to die for these sons.
I didn't
notice it, but we were in New Orleans and we was in that nightclub. We were watching the live music. I was standing behind you, like off behind you.
Yeah. And
there were like just people around. I knew people were looking at me.
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable because you behind me. I wanted to turn around like, why you? I haven't, because we like. That's about to. I'm gonna go to this topic right after this, but she was in front of me for the majority of the first time we was in the club. Bitch, I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm like, okay. So she goes to the bathroom, so she comes back, and now she stands behind me. So I'm like, so I'm feeling uncomfortable the whole time because like we out, you know. I like to, if we go to a restaurant or something like that, if we go anywhere, I like to sit in a position where I can see the whole room just in case anything happens.
Same thing.
I can be in a position where
you can react.
I can react, right? So she behind me, so it's already making me uncomfortable that she's standing behind me, and I can't see her, right? But she was right there, so I let it go. But now it's funny that you say that because the whole time that you was doing that, it was in the side of my head like a drill. Like, why won't she come up in front of me? And I even turned around like, you all right? Like, you want to come up here? You're like, no, I'm good. I'm like,
I didn't
but I'm not.
I was standing. I was like this.
Yeah.
Behind him.
But that's like
I see with him.
That be on the same thing, dog. When we go eat. Like, now it's getting to the point where Micah don't even have to, she don't have to, like, I don't have to do it. But I used to have to literally move her. Like, no, I need to see the door. And then be like, no, I need to know what's going on. She was looking at me like, okay. I guess you can sit so you can see the door. It's just like, no, I feel like I don't think we've encountered anything yet, but I feel like we done had a situation where something could have popped off and it was like as soon as I go into the place, like if it's a hole in the wall or whatever, I gotta scan the room. Like, how the hell we gonna get out of here? Like, because if people be doing some weird stuff and you can't control nobody but yourself, so I'm like,
it'd be sometimes too. It'd be like I try to give her the autonomy to be like her own woman and stuff like that too. So it'd be like a couple times where I see like somebody ain't just giving her enough space or stuff like that, and I'd be like one of the. But I like, you know, like at the same club when we finally we ended up sitting down at a table and it was just like
it was this old
it was like this old white man and white woman. They just like kind of kept bumping into like they wasn't, I don't think it was necessarily bumping, but it was in her space and I just like kept looking over and like you want to say something to her
a few times and then
and to me I'm the type of person like I want to give you the autonomy to have your own and then if you say something I'm 100% right there behind your back.
Yeah.
And it's always sometimes too where I want to jump out of pocket, but you gotta realize that if you operate like that in life, then it's gonna be
you're gonna be fighting a lot of fights.
You're gonna be fighting a lot of battles.
You're
So
gonna fight a lot.
as long as ain't nobody stopping us from getting home and hindering our life in that aspect, then I'm pretty cool. So luckily we haven't had no situations where we want to cut nobody. But
I think the big difference for me, me versus Caleb, like people staring at Caleb don't really bother me. Like I don't really care.
I don't think it don't happen. That's why.
I do.
I'm your friend. I know what happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like people staring at Caleb doesn't bother me. It's people putting their hands on Caleb. Like I don't like that, and I feel like it's one of those things where I know for a fact if a dude was to put his hands on me, Caleb would take their hand off. So that's the only thing that makes me really uncomfortable. Like if we're next to each other, we're face to face. Like why are you doing this?
Yeah, and it'd be weird because sometimes it don't be like, and I didn't really think about it till after Michael was like, yeah, she was tripping for that, and then it was like, it usually for
somebody tried to drink out of Caleb's cup, tried to take the cup out of his hand and drink out of it, and I'm sitting like, you're Caleb, I'm me, and she's there trying to take a cup out of his hand and drink out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it'd be like situations where I'm like sitting down in a chair, like on the computer or doing something, or just standing leaning up against a wall, like positions where I can't really move. And then they'll basically broach my bubble.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like lean up against me or do something. It's like,
this is my life.
It's like, would you do this any other time?
This is my
or would
life.
You do this to anybody else? Is this how you talk to people?
This is my life.
Like you
I feel like people be trying me.
They gonna find out.
But
we can't go to church.
I'm so saved, though. I'm so saved. God has really worked on me. Like, if this was 2009 through 2012...
we wouldn't have been together. We would have been locked up together. We would have been in jail.
Friday to Monday. Were really bad. They were really bad. But I think we've come a long way. And yeah. People be trying.
Yeah, see, sometimes, like, back then, I used to hit first and then talk later. Now I'm going to talk to you now. I'm going to let you know what's going to happen.
You was proactive instead of reactive. I get it.
No, I was both. I was always on the defensive. I was always on the defense. Terrible. The Lord has worked. Because, boy, we used to be a high-headed bunch. I don't know how we end up in jail. For real. But with that said, you want to...
We can go ahead and wrap it up. So our last question, as I'm sure you guys know, if you had to pick one song, Ryu first, that defines your relationship. Don't be shaking your head. What would it be?
Oh, wow.
Just one. Uno.
Water by Schoolboy Q.
The one song I always think of, you have to tell me the name of it because I don't know the name of it.
You can sing it. We could be here.
Oh, man.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You go first. Let me get the melody in my head.
I would probably say it would be either a choice of two songs, either Melodies from Heaven or Zoom by the Commodores.
100% Zoom.
Oh,
the song he said that you can't sing. And that's it came on 2 nights ago, and Caleb tried to force me to sing y'all.
I was like, please send Floyd this video right now. Oh, I can never hear that song the same.
Yeah, anybody.
Oh.
Okay, well, give me the melody.
So, baby, I like to fly far away from here.
And that's why I didn't see you. Because I knew she gonna set you up. She gonna go off on that. Baby,
baby.
That ain't it.
Baby, that ain't it.
I know my gift. I know my talent.
But yeah, one of those two. I think that song, those songs have come up a few times throughout our relationship. So.
All right, Ryu.
The song I'm thinking of, I can't produce right
Can
now.
you hum it?
I can't. But I like when I think about It's Close by LMA. I like that song.
You could pick Superstar by Usher.
He only wants you to pick that song because he wants to
I
sing
love
the
that
intro.
song.
Boy, want to sing the intro so bad.
Go ahead.
No,
I'll
I'm
count you
good.
off.
I'm good.
She said, "I count you up."
You ready?
You ain't got no rhythm.
Oh. You ain't got no. You tone deaf.
Oh Lord.
Go ahead.
What was that? Dog. We want to thank y'all for coming by, man. We appreciate y'all for coming by and talking to y'all about
It was a pleasure.
friendship, man.
We was wondering when we was gonna get on the episode, you know, but we had to wait our turn.
And just have y'all on and they be like, "So what y'all do today?"
We already talking about work.
So tell me about your day. No, I love you guys.
Aw,
Love
I
y'all too.
appreciate this outlet. I'm proud of you guys.
how about
I
that?
got friends. I got podcasts.
We trying, girl, got pay these
God.
bills.
Man.
DCE robbing us. All right, see y'all later.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Love and soul.
And hair grease.
That didn't rhyme. We can't
Peace
end
in
like
the Middle
that.
East, rain in Spain.